Hello everyone, welcome back to the slightly modded, slightly roleplay Skyrim playthrough. This is episode 5, I may have already live streamed episode 6 by the time this comes out, so that's cool. Anyway, let's begin. A person called Delphine reveals that they are my supposed friend, and she takes me into a secret room, hidden behind a bookshelf. She wants me to prove that I am Dragonborn by absorbing a dragon's soul in front of her, and she gives me both the horn of Jorgen Windhelm, as well as the coordinates of a dragon burial site, where she expects me to kill a dragon. I agree to do this, only asking that she never steal my loot again. She begins to leave, and I proceed to loot a shiny new sword from the weapon rack, and I follow her outside. I am immediately blinded by the new graphics mods that I've installed. There are a lot of vibrant colours, maybe too much colour. And I don't think I like it, but it's too late to change it now. And plus, by the end of the video, it grows on me and I end up liking it. I turn around and start riding to what remains of Helgen. I'm 99% sure there is a path that leads to Ivarstead from there, which is probably going to be quicker than going past Whiterun. Yes, my brain struggles to function, and I did just go in a circle. Must have taken a wrong turn somewhere. But I run into a stray dog, which I speak to before going on my way. I guess it's mine now, so I affectionately call it Dog, until I can think of another name. I take the correct turn this time, and I arrive in Helgen. I lockpick the gates, and discover a couple bandits inside. We fight, and Dog helps out, which is pretty good, but I don't want him to die, so we best be careful. When the bandits are no more, I lockpick the final gate and we both go down a path which should lead to Ivarstead. Everything is fine and dandy until an Imperial army just pops into existence before me. I eventually get past them and continue riding, passing an army of Stormcloak soldiers marching to meet them. I almost ride past before realising what is about to go down. I watch for a few seconds before I lag and decide to leave. I then ride to Ivarstead. I look back and do not see Dog, which causes quite a panic. I begin to backtrack, finding a dead wolf, until I see Dog running from Ivarstead. We then ride through the town, and I tell Dog to wait for my return near the steps, as I do not want him to attempt to fight the frost troll. I ride up the mountain on my horse. Turns out the journey is much quicker on horseback, which is a relief. When I get to the Greybeards, I'm taught the final word of the unrelenting force shout, before I'm ambushed by the other 3 old men. All of them shout at me for no reason. They even call it a privilege, and I decided to leave, praying that I will not have to return there for a very long time. When I return to Ivarstead, Dog is nowhere to be found. I search for days, but can find no traces of him. And in the short time I had been with him, I think we have bonded. With a heavy heart and a reluctance to do so, I give up and decide to fast travel to Windhelm using the carriage, thus breaking another one of my self-imposed rules. After getting to Windhelm, I remembered that I received a letter from a friend giving me a task here. I reread the letter and gave the beggar 100 gold pieces before travelling back to the Shrine of Talos to meet this friend. I called out to the friend, introducing myself, but I'm immediately attacked by them. I defend myself, counter-attacking, which is when I realised that I probably began this quest way too early, as I barely deal any damage. No matter, I will not back down. I immediately do a tactical retreat and hatch a quick plan. I invite my friend to get on the shrine with me, and I plan to subdue them by means of fall damage. But the fall does not do nearly enough damage. It didn't matter though, as the second she made contact with a river, she died. I ran down and took the armour which I'm probably too low a level for. It was miles better than the steel that I wore, It even looked cooler, and the sword was better and all. I go back to the shrine and say a few words, but accidentally activate it and I'm given a buff. After the whole ordeal, I go to Windhelm, ignoring the event that was going on, and proceeded to sell a bunch of things to the blacksmith. I get back on the horse and head to meet Delphine. I don't find her and decide to head up the hill alone. When I get there, I fight the dragon. It was a lot easier to slay this with all the gear on, and as I performed my finishing move, a thick fog rolled in, making it hard to see anything. Delphine then emerges from the fog and calls me Dragonborn, before asking me to meet her back in Riverwood for the next mission. I run back to my horse and decide to stay in the tavern and sleep until morning. I ended up having a weird nightmare, imagining the fight if I did not have the ebony gear, and it didn't go well, because there was now 2 dragons. I woke up in somewhat of a sweat and immediately left the tavern, seeing it was still night. I did not care and began to ride to Riverwood. If things can go wrong, they will go wrong. I'm ambushed by a dragon. Was no doubt the one from my nightmare. Unlike the nightmare, it was alone, and I was far better prepared. I cut the dragon down and absorbed its soul. I then realised that I have been recording for quite a while and fast travelled to Riverwood. I speak to Delphine. She tells me that everything is the thalmor's fault. She tells me of a plan to get me into their embassy. All I need to do is attend their party. I agree and leave the inn, seeing that it's almost day. I run around and find Faendal, getting him to teach me how to use a bow, as this should make battling the dragons easier. I then leave to Solitudes to meet Delphine's contact. I meet the contact who mentions that I cannot take anything to the embassy. Which is where the video's ending. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Goodbye.